in the funny car, you get in and we have 15 total straps. So we've got arm restraints, leg restraints, head from the back to keep our head from going forward. It's -9 G's when a parachute's hit. And then I have these 4 straps in front because it's positive 5.5, 6 G's on a run. So you have all those straps that got to be hooked up. So once you do the burnout and you back up, you got to remember that we have a handbrake. We don't have a foot brake. We've got a clutch that's a centrifugal clutch, much like a mini bike. Like when you and I were a kid, it would sit at idle. You give it gas and it takes off. You don't need to use a clutch, right? RPM comes up, it starts to move. That's what the clutches basically are like in a top fuel or funny car. So when you're a fan and you're watching the drag races and those 2 little top lights called pre-stage light, that's basically once both cars get those done, and you only go in and light those 2 top ones. You don't want to light any more than that, or you're not breaking a code, but you're not supposed to, because those first 2 means you're about to be ready. So once both cars have those 2 little pre-stage lights, okay, now you flip your visor down, you turn your fresh air system on, you do whatever else you got to do. In our case, you pull the fuel pump all the way on, 1001, 1002, and you let your foot off the clutch. And that's when you hear at the races, you hear the RPM drop a little bit. And when it happens, that centrifugal clutch is slightly loaded, and I'm holding the car with the brake.
Wow.
I am like a cobra with my foot ready to snap the throttle pedal and let go of the brake at the same exact time when the Christmas tree comes down eventually. So that's what we're doing in there. And that's why we talk about John Forrest and him staging and playing games and waiting, because once you let your foot off the clutch, it starts building heat. Now, if you're in there and you're waiting and somebody's taking a little bit longer, and Pro Stock's a little different because you have a clutch and you got the thing on a chip and you're bringing the RPM up. So Pro Stock has their own way of staging. And again, people start to play games that could mess with the tune-up in the car and get in somebody's head. So that's basically it. Other than that, when we mash the gas on these funny cars and top fuel dragsters, we don't shift. A lot of people think that we make all these different shifts. They're preset adjustments that the crew chief sets on those clutch timers. So once I hit the gas, there's a button under the gas pedal. It starts these timers, and the crew chief has to set them before the run. And he's got a sort of educated guess of what he think the track will take. And you mash the gas and you hang on for dear life, and you just try to keep it straight. And it sounds easy. And in the top fuel dragster, it is easier. They're longer, they're more forgiving. In a dragster, you steer it maybe this much at the most. You don't want it getting all teeter-tottery, right? The funny car, you hit the gas and it's this all the way down. And that's when a run looks straight from the outside. If you're in the tower and you see a pretty straight run, we're still in there going like this because it is so evil handling. Engines in front, stiff chassis. There's no suspension. There's no noodleness like a top fuel car. It is the most, and I've gotten to drive some pretty cool cars, dirt cars, sprint cars, midgets. It is the most
evil.
Just, you do not know what the heck it's going to do.
Scared the hell out of me. I was too old to do it.
Yeah, you would love it. I'd love to put you in someday and just have you do a burnout and a launch. I think you wouldn't stop talking. You would love it.